Hello, welcome to the BioReef. Today we start a new journey. Hello everyone, thanks for joining me. It's finally time to tell you about my new tank upgrade. My Red Sea Reefer 250 has been running for more than 5.5 years now, and it was my first real reef tank. I enjoyed my time with the Reefer 250. I made many mistakes along the way, but I also learned a lot of very important lessons about how to keep a reef tank. The Reefer 250 was the biggest tank that I could fit in my house at the time, and while I really like the system, it's getting a little bit too small for me. I finished the basement of my house last summer, and this provided an opportunity to get a bigger tank to replace the Reefer 250. After talking with the boss/wife, we finally agreed on getting an upgrade. I debated a lot about getting a custom tank, but I had a very good experience with the Reefer 250 and I liked the aesthetics of its clean cabinet and rimless design, so I decided to stick with these kind of prefabricated tanks. I spent a lot of time researching the different types of tank that Red Sea and Waterbox make, and my decision was based on a single criteria. I wanted the biggest tank that I could buy that would be able to be moved from the main floor to the basement. This involved making 3 very tight 90-degree turns down 2 sets of stairs. So after a lot of research and actually building wooden frames of different types of tanks that I considered and seeing if I could move them down to the basement, I finally decided on getting a Waterbox Reef 180.5. The tank is about 60 inches long, 25 inches wide, and 22 inches high. It has a 130-gallon display, a 50-gallon sump, and some extra space in the cabinet for equipment. I ordered the tank online in September, and because of COVID delays and so on, I finally received the tank a couple of weeks ago, so that would be mid-February. I spent the first few days assembling and leveling the cabinet. I'm not going to do a separate video on this because, who wants to see several hours of me putting together an IKEA-style cabinet? Also, my wife mentioned that there was a serious plumber butt in the video, so I stopped filming. I do want to mention a couple of quick tips though. First, do your best to level the bottom frame of the stand before you actually install the bottom panel. The leveling feet are super easy to access at this stage, but after you put the bottom panel on, the only way to really access the leveling feet is by turning the stand over, which is not ideal, especially if you're working on your own. The leveling feet that come with the tank only really give you the ability to adjust the height by about 1/4 inch or so. My basement has this kind of slope, the floor slopes towards a floor drain, and because of this, it was really impossible to level my stand with the leveling feet that I actually got from Waterbox. Lucky for me, Waterbox used standard M6 bolts for the leveling feet, and you're essentially able to order longer M6 leveling feet online. So I got these from Amazon, and they made it really easy to be able to level my tank and my stand across the uneven basement floor. When you're checking your level, do check front to back, side to side, but also diagonal, because that's very important. So good job on Waterbox for using these standard M6 bolts and not using something weird and proprietary. The stand was really easy to put together. I really like how sturdy it is. It's made out of plywood, and I think it's got this really nice water-resistant laminated finish. So after the stand was built, I wanted to solve a couple of problems that I had with the Reefer 250 before actually putting on the display. First, I wanted to have a couple of removable panels behind the tank that I could attach power strips and power adapters to, so they're not inside the cabinet like I had in my Red Sea Reefer 250. So I built these 2 panels out of 1/4 inch plywood, and I had screws attached to my wall studs, and I'm essentially able to hang these panels on these screws and remove them when I need to add, let's say, new electronics or replace any new electronics. The second problem that I wanted to deal with is lights in the cabinet. So I had no lights in the Red Sea Reefer cabinet, which made kind of working difficult. I would have to get an external light. So I ordered this under cabinet lighting system on Amazon. It's got about 6 LED strips that are all wired together serially, and I'm able to essentially control it with a switch in the stand. Finally, the plan for this system is to have a lot of smart controllable electronics. And I found these 2 Wi-Fi controlled power strips from Casa, which you can control with Alexa. So I installed them to the sides, and check this out. Alexa, turn the lights on.
Okay.
Alexa, turn the lights off.
Okay.
Sweet. Okay, once my stand and panels were ready to go, it was time for the big moving day. I had rehearsed this move many times before. I don't actually have any video footage of the move, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of the tips that I did in case you want to attempt something similar yourself. So most of the heavy lifting was actually done by a stair climbing hand truck. I had no idea about these amazing inventions until I was trying to figure out what's the best way to move the tank downstairs. Essentially, it's like a hand truck or a dolly that has a motor that allows you to climb upstairs or climb downstairs. So really, you don't have to actually like physically lift the tank down the stairs. All you need to do is balance the hand truck and kind of maneuver it in and out of positions. The hand truck that I used was called an Escalara, and it could support up to 800 pounds. Before I did the move, I made 2 plates out of 1/4 inch plywood and about 1/4 inch foam. And these were essentially used to support the side as well as the bottom of the tank and kind of protect the glass on the tank from the actual metal on the stair climber. I also got these 4 8-inch suction cups from Amazon that I found really helpful, essentially to be able to pick up the tank and put it on the hand truck, and also once the move was done to the basement to be able to pick up the tank again and put it on the stand. So it took about 5 guys to do the move, about an hour and a half. My job was to kind of hold the hand truck and kind of push it forward and backwards. There were 2 guys in front that were maneuvering the tank side to side, and 2 guys in the back that were kind of supporting the hand truck from behind so that way it doesn't kind of tip forward. Once the tank was in the basement, we used the suction cups to lift the tank and put it on the stand. With 5 guys, the tank weighs approximately 300 pounds, so with 5 guys, each person was lifting about 50, and the suction cups made it really easy to be able to just grip the tank, lift it, and put it on the stand. I was really worried about the move. Actually, the reason that I haven't shot this video or told you what tank it is yet, because I had like nightmares that the tank was not going to fit down the stairs. So I didn't want to tell you that I got this tank and then not actually be able to have it. So, but I'm so thankful that things went so smoothly. We didn't hurt ourselves. We didn't damage the tank. We didn't damage the house. So, all is good. Based on first impressions, the tank looks spectacular. It's got very nice clean lines, nice thick glass, a great silicone job. So looking forward to add the sump and then leak test the system to make sure everything is good. Then the plan is to move the aquascape, which has been sitting in RO and then salt water over the past couple of months, add the sand, fill it up with salt water, and then start moving some of my corals. So I'll keep you updated with my progress in future videos. We're going to be talking about the different systems and equipment that I plan to use on this build. So thanks so much for watching and following along. Exciting times ahead. So cheers and have a great day.